What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Keepin' It Comic, and today we are finishing off this arc about the Thunder War with Storm, issue number 12. Now look, this all starts off with a frog, and a hand coming out of the frog, and it's none other than Dr. Voodoo. And man, he is welcomed by none other than Gore the God Butcher, Sentry, and Philavel. And if this doesn't remind you of Naruto when Jiraiya snuck in to the village hidden in the rain to fight Pain and the Akatsuki, I mean, I don't know what else does. But Dr. Voodoo says, Gore the God Butcher. And he responds, Jericho Drum, the Gunner of Gods. You seek to aid your Storm God in her battle against Hadad. Unfortunately for her, death calls for you. And we start seeing images of all these different cities. And I'm not going to read all the notes that are here, but I just want to say, in Impossible City, I thought it was funny that Tony left a note for Storm that says your boyfriend, and he crossed it out. Ex-husband, crossed it out. Teammate ran into some trouble. Like, bro, he stayed doing the most. But we get to see how the Storm is looking in Atlanta and the Storm Sanctuary, and even in Alaska and Louisiana. And the weather is clearly freakish. But what's causing all this? Well, the Battle of Two Gods, which started 30 minutes ago, where Storm is in space and she goes, Hadad, and he responds, Host of Eternity, I am not a violent god, or at least that's how he started, because right now, man, he done punched Storm so hard that her lower jaw is going the opposite direction from the rest of her body. And he's like, these hands have worked so many wonders. They performed miracles. Today, you will die by them. And he sends her flying with a punch. He says, my desires are many. Watching you die like an animal, not knowing why you were being put down, is not one of them. And he puts his hand out to summon his weapon. And you can see Storm's outfit is shattered and she's puking up blood. And he continues, the entities love to hear themselves speak. They make grand pronouncements about what is required of their subjects. But the misdeeds of abstracts are the most well-kept secrets in the cosmos. They have told you nothing about why I seek to end everything. They have told you nothing about why you and your planet must die. And at this time, he catches his weapon and he sends it flying. Storm says, I understand the unfair, painful weights you must have been forced to shoulder. I understand that we take different paths in the face of unforgivable injustice. But if you attempt to break my planet, hurt my people, in your vengeful quest, an immortal shall meet its swift end. And we see Storm gets pierced right through her left shoulder. And then Hadad lifts the weapon up by telling it to levitate while it's still in Storm. And he says, Are you crying? You have not awakened your boundless eyes, have you? You have not looked through time to learn of the host before you. You know nothing of internal madness, the insane. Eternal Hadad, the devastator. As it stands, you barely know Eternal Storm, the turbulent. With the powers you struggle to wield, I dominated the primordial abstract entities, drained the living tribunal, and used their powers to wage a war against the one above all. Of all the beings that I have encountered in battle, the only reason you will be remembered is because of how incredibly weak you are. You were forged in a desert. Good. I will unmake you in this one. And boy, yo, his aura farming is crazy. But at the same time, right now at the House of Ideas, Eternity has went to see the one above all. The one above all says, sometimes I wish I created my children to require substance like you did with your humans. I would have more to offer you than my undivided attention when you come to visit. My mind would be at rest knowing that you would leave with more than a mere memory of my company, but a physical rejuvenation too. You were always the superior creator, Eternity. And he responds, I would not dare say the one above all is wrong, but you always give me this undeserved praise. Hadad has reached Earth, Father. He will find my heart within the planet, End me, and I will cease to exist. What sort of better creator dreads his own creation so? And the one above all says, all great creators fear the power of their creations. You make beings that can surpass you in strength and wisdom. Some of your creations have even found their way to converse with me. You have made me proud. Eternity says, if I truly am what you say, then the glory is all yours. You made me. The creator of the greatest creator is the greatest creator. And I think at this point, the one above all noticed the little brown nosing because he's like, what do you want, Eternity? And he says, for you to stop Hadad before he destroys me and my sister Infinity, before he destroys the universe. And he drops to his knees. The one above all says, I have come to bargain for the fate of the universe, Father. Those were your words when you barged into my abode to interrupt my work. What have you brought to bargain with? What precious possessions do you own that my desire would be to separate from it? What sacred sacrifice will wash away your atrocity? You caused the slaughter of oblivion, my first son, the void from which everything came. What makes you so deserving of the slightest speck of my compassion? Eternity says, I am your son too. And the one above all turns with a look of disgust and says, I am the joy of new birth, the love that makes a being sacrifice its life for another, the hope for a better tomorrow in the face of tribulations. I am the godness and mercy you hope to find here. But I am also the wrath, justice, retribution, vengeance. After countless eons of protecting you from black winters, Eternity interrupts. Oblivion only did so because his twin, Death, was housed within me. And the one above all says, he had nothing, not his twin, not a glimmer of your grace, never your empathy. All he ever had was duty. But the moment he stepped outside of your eternal expectations, when he left you to fend for yourself, you unleashed your son, Abraxas, the bomb entity, to end oblivion before your next trial by combat with him. You disobeyed me. And Eternity says, and he released the storm god you imprisoned within him to get back at me. The storm god who murdered him and comes for me. Must I die too before you act? The one above all responds, act? I am the uncreated creator, Lord of the universe. I sit in the house of ideas and see into the far shore. All that is because I will it. I am the one above all. What crisis do you think will befall all of the existence should I let loose the anti-creation inferno that is my fury? What calamity shall bombard all that is ever will be should I surrender to the titanic abyss of my despair? My son is gone. I cannot mourn. Order and chaos understood each other's roles and found balance. Within you, death and life reached a compromise. But you and your brother only desired to end each other. Hadad will grant both your wishes. And at this time, if you don't know who this black figure is that has risen above Hadad, well, they're going to tell you. Because it says, you have been defeated by Hadad, the first storm god, the indiscriminate devastator. I am the Black Winter, who will devour this universe. Know me. Know your ender. Just then, the Black Winter's hit, and Hadad turns and says, Asgardian? And then we see, let your rage fuel your flames, brother. Let the tyrant fall before the serpent storm god. Let the villain's obliteration make all tremble at the might of Beta Ray Bill and Sugar. And we can't say this flame didn't do anything, because Hadad says, your flames destroyed my thunder spear. No matter. I will fashion your bones into a new one when I'm through with you. And bro, this man kicked the heck out of Beta Ray Bill. I mean, he kicked this man so hard, it started dialogue. It says, 3 billion years ago, Oblivion slew Eternal Madness the Insane, the 13th host of Eternity, in a trial by combat. Eternity determined to henceforth never lose to Oblivion, created the Elder Gods. But the Elder Gods were not his masterpiece. His magnum opus was Hadad, the first storm god. And all storm gods can trace their lineage far back to a single Elder God, Gaia. All except one, Aurora Monroe, blood of the Elder God Ashta. Those ignorant of her nature called her the storm god who retreats. But we know the terrifying truth of who she is. Hadariel, mistress of elements, God Eater, the Omega of Omegas, the indomitable storm. And she'll die to protect her homeworld, her universe. And I gotta say, that picture is fire of her and Hadad going at it. But back at the House of Ideas, the one above all is not done with eternity. He says, our creations can seem so vastly dissimilar, but our experiences as creators can be all too familiar. It is easy to be a tortured artist, son, to doubt your work, to hate what your craft says about what kind of individual you must be. The fear and hate you have for Hadad is immeasurable. You sense his approach and see a reflection of everything you despise about yourself. If only you had an equal amount of respect and trust for your creation who bleeds to preserve your life despite your cruelty. To look upon her face and see everything endearing about you. You can never defeat Oblivion, yet a being you crafted achieved the impossible. A word of advice from this creator: love your creation, as I love you dearly. And as Storm and Hadad are still going at it, we get an image of Galactus in the Silver Surfer trying to save some of the Storm Guards who have not been taken over by the Black Winter. And we also see Infinity and Quasar fighting it out too, where she says, "My brother is back, Quasar. His presence warms my heart once more." And just then, Eternity speaks to Storm. He says, "Imagine it, Earther, your father, who has always been your solid foundation, the most unbending man you have ever known, a true fighter. Imagine walking into his abode, in the shadows of the quiet place, with sorrow pouring down his face, and you realize the reason why he feels so much pain in his heart is you. I am the son who broke his father's heart. I have no honor, in my father's eyes nor in yours. Aurora Monroe, all I have done has been for my sake, never considering the weight of my actions on you, your desires, your will, your autonomy. For this, I ask for your forgiveness." And Storm says, "There are many words I want to share with you, Eternity, but all I can give you at the moment are the feelings that rush through my heart. Feelings of having to defend a universe that has been cruel to me, and a warning. My body must always belong to my will alone." And he agrees. And with the words of the one above all echoing in his mind, Eternity returns to Storm's body. In the speed of thought, Storm's and Eternity's consciousness, powers, and identities merge into the supercosmic being known as the Eternal Storm, demanding and giving the other forgiveness, understanding, and grace. Eternity submits his will in this form to the control of our hero, our universe's deadliest warrior. Eternity warns her, Hadad will begin to loosen his grasp on our neighboring realms to become far too powerful for you to fight alone. But we have a treaty. Affinity, the Never Queen, and the Phoenix Force will converge here to join the battle. All you must do is stall till they arrive. And Storm says, "There is no need to put our sisters in harm's way. I am ending this battle now." And she takes off. Now, I'm telling you, I'm gonna do my best to say these words, but I might mess up. I'm letting you know now. But anyway, Storm says, Muay Thai and Gadibbo by Black Panther, Kanjutsu and Krav Maga by Wolverine, Tai Chi and Hungar by Shang-Chi. These are some of the many martial disciplines that I have mastered in recent years. But when it comes to fighting bastards like you, I rely on the uneducated wailing of the urchin boys of my childhood. I am Aurora Monroe, storm god of Earth. Strike my planet, and I'll be the thunder that follows. And Hadad's all types of messed up. He's like, look into your shattered memory with eternity. See what eternity did to me, what the one above all allowed him to do to me. See if you would not want to end them all. And she responds, you aim to kill me and destroy my planet. Even then, I do not intend to end you. I will imprison you in a pocket dimension like all thunder gods before you, who threatened me and my home. And just then, my man Hadad broke the fourth wall. He says, our lives are just parchments, comical books in their endless libraries. Our sufferings and tribulations are mere amusements for them to marvel at. We are pawns in the hands of the creators. We have to seize our destinies, or else. But eternity, dreading the future consequences of Storm's mercy, betrays her trust. See, eternity forcibly subjects Storm's body and slays Hadad in cold blood. In a fit of fury, Storm reaches within every fiber of her being and rejects the treacherous abstract entity from her very soul. Never again will Storm trust our universe. But I don't know if that was a good idea, getting rid of eternity that soon. Because in the royal palace, realm of death, oh, there's mayhem going on. Someone says, I have allowed myself to remain imprisoned, finding only small pleasures in the craft of my adversaries. I have stayed confined because I deemed my judge just and my jailers justified. My brother, Oblivion, has been felled by a creation of eternity. Yet the living tribunal has dealt no punishment. The one above all, aloft. And we see none other than death and Dr. Voodoo. And she continues, that is why I have summoned you here, Necromancer. You will be my executioner's blade, my avatar, the avatar of death, as we wage war on all those responsible for taking my brother from me. You will be my battle general in the crusade to come, in the war above all. And there we have it, folks. Storm takes down Hadad, the first storm god. Honestly, for all the hype around him, I feel like the fight didn't give us quite enough. But that's just me. What does have me excited is knowing Phoenix and Scarlet Witch are lined up to help, which could set up for a wild truce down the line. But real talk, I think I'm even more hype about Marvel Zombies popping up. I'm amped to see Null, because let's be real, we need way more of him. And is that Spider-Man they teased? If Marvel tries to tie this to the 8 deaths, we are going to have to talk about it. Oh, and those shadowy claws? Please let it be Dakin. But hey, that's just my take. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. And if you've been rocking with these breakdowns, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and don't forget to hype this video using YouTube's new hype feature. It really helps push our content to more comic fans just like you. And as always, thanks for kicking it with Keeping It Comic. I'll catch y'all on the next one.